Welcome back to the Galactic Underground. I am here with a living legend. This is Jager of Shroud Industries and Clan Shroud. So I have been a member of Clan Shroud for about a year now, and it's been absolutely amazing. But what I want to ask you is why did you start Shroud?
Yeah, man, dude. Well, first of all, thanks for
Oh, you're
coming
welcome.
all the way out here,
It was a
and
drive.
yeah, and we had so many amazing members and cosplayers, Mandalorians, come all the way out to Tucson, Arizona, to do the filming here at Shroud HQ, Shroud Industries, and just hearing your stories, hearing the things that everyone has been saying over the last couple days. It's the community. It's bringing. I started this because we're bringing talented, creative people who are looking for a creative outlet to express themselves, and without like being constricted. Like we have open minds, and I guess I could go back to college. When I was in college, studying art, I, as a young football player in college, athlete, very rah rah rah, and thought I knew everything. Going into an art class, putting up my piece of art that I worked super hard on, and having it critiqued by people that I thought were, lesser than myself.
Right.
It was a hit to my ego, and that's something that I had to learn as I was doing art projects. I had a choice. I could listen to these people and let it come in one ear, chew on it a little bit, go out the other ear, or I could just totally put walls up and not be open minded. And learning how to listen, communicate, and adapt myself to enhance my creativity and to increase what I was producing, that really kind of changed me as a kid. And so as I, kept moving through works, different jobs, work, I was fortunate enough to work for the Walt Disney Company.
Oh, wow.
And I worked in the character head department, and I built the character head. So, the heads that you see in the parks, I was very lucky to have been on, a pretty big team that,
Right.
made these things. And I had great training, and I built my first Mandalorian suit. I actually built 8 costumes for Star Wars Celebration in Anaheim,
Oh, wow.
and that was 2015. And I was living in Orlando, and we flew the family out there, and it was a huge undertaking. I did it in about a month, and you guys know how hard it is to
Oh,
build
absolutely.
these costumes. And
Yeah.
this is before 3D printing. Everything was hand done, cast, hand sewn, everything. There wasn't a huge Etsy presence or anything like that.
Right.
So just going out to have fun with my family in Anaheim, and I worked super hard on my costume, but I gave some of the parts that I normally would wear,
Right.
to my kids. And I think what really hit home for me, I was very proud of what I had done. And the USA Today, they took a photo of us, and it was in USA Today. And Lucasfilm, they did a lot of video, and they were so happy to see
Right.
us. And then I got tapped on the shoulder by some cosplayers, and they were like, "Dude, take off your helmet." And so I took off my helmet, and they're like, "Man, like your kit is almost good enough for approval."
Wow.
And I'm not going to get into like what
Wow.
groups or anything that they were in.
We all know which group. Anyways,
Yeah,
continue.
yeah. I think I just the judgment of somebody with my talent and what I had worked on.
Right.
it was a culture that I didn't want to be a part of. I wanted to be a part of a culture that brought people together under like very simple, open-minded, basically just creativity and,
Oh,
and
absolutely.
like putting a seed in soil and letting it grow
Right.
with good soil. And so I kind of made the decision there, like, I already had the shroud skull developed by an artist, Nigel
Just
Sod.
super cool, by the way.
Yeah, so I was going to mega cons and seeing his art, and I was like, dude, you've got to do this thing. And so he made that, and so we already had the clan, shroud, skull, and I think when it really started taking off was about COVID. And COVID, someone reached out. We were doing an exclusive patch set for Star Wars Celebration in Chicago. And it was me and two of my friends and then my brother. And we kind of did like a 4 puzzle patch that you had to collect all of them.
Oh, that's cool.
And during COVID, someone reached out to me and they're like, "Hey, can I join your clan?" And it was just supposed to be for my family.
Right.
But then I started, then like he was the first one, and then another person would reach out and they were like, hey, I want to join your clan. Can we join your clan? And so and I started hearing
For sure.
the stories from people
Right.
like yourself, and
Yeah.
and they were all similar. People that wanted to be creative. We all work super hard. Like, all of us have jobs. We are working, and when we're doing our cosplay, it should be an escape. So anytime I'm not right mentally, I put on Empire of Dreams, the basically the documentary of Star Wars.
Right.
And I've done that ever since I had the VHS of the original story of Star Wars that I put in. And it's just really important to me to go back to what Siskel and Ebert said in I think it was 77 or maybe 76 if it was before the movie hit. They interviewed that. They did a little thing on the movie, and they said the reason why Star Wars is going to be successful is because it's complete escapism. And I felt cosplay, anything that we're doing creatively, because we're worked so hard, we shouldn't be judged. We shouldn't be put under a microscope. And I wanted to change that culture. I wanted to get people together where we could nurture and have creative people, grow underneath basically an ideology of that. So I know it's a long explanation.
No, you're fine. Man.
Yeah.
No, it's very interesting.
Yeah.
I have came into contact with. I go to Comic-Cons all over the place, and I talk to cosplayers. And they all have a similar story with nowhere to go.
Yeah.
I was denied several times from certain groups too for my costumes, and no idea why necessarily. But when I found you on Instagram, and it was really weird how it happened, because I follow another cosplayer that is with the Mercs, and then I saw Shroud on it, and I was like, what's that? And I clicked it, and then I started hearing more and more and more and more, and I'm like, it's probably just another group of people, just like every other group of people. And then I started seeing your lives, and I could see your passion that you had for everything, and I just wanted to be a part of that. Like, that was like, I think that people gravitate towards you because of your passion that you have for not just Star Wars, but for the art and creativity of it, and that's the most important part. And I drove 30 hours by myself from Michigan to Arizona to meet you and to be in Guardians Squadron. And I'm glad I did. It was the best decision I ever made. And I'll tell you why, people. For all of those fans out there that are watching this, Jaeger is the real deal when it comes to somebody who wants to or says that they want to bring community to cosplay. And I experienced it myself the moment that I pulled in his property. I didn't meet any of these other people that worked on this project before this. And we all worked as a unit. We worked in unison. There was no arguing. There was no egos. There was no nothing. And you were right out there with us. And here's the biggest part of it. It wasn't your vision. It was all of our visions. You were like, we would ask you, can we do this? Can we add this prop here to the set? And you're like, do it, man. And encouraging us to be creative in that space.
Yeah.
And that's what Shroud is all about.
Yeah.
Or at least to me, you know what I mean? And that's why I wanted to be a part of it. And guys, listen, like not everybody does Mandalorian cosplay, and it is a Mando group, but still follow their Instagram, follow the projects that they're doing, be involved in the cons, which, I want to talk to you about that too.
Yeah.
Shroud started doing Shroud Con, and actually you guys just came back from Germany.
Yeah.
So how did that part of it start? Like just Shroud Cons?
So I really enjoy going to Star Wars Celebration, and I enjoy dressing up, and like going back to what I was saying, it's we all work hard. I want to play hard. And
right.
So, I've been asked a lot, like, why isn't there a Shroud booth at conventions, and can we set up these booths? And as soon as you start setting up booths, and it's a lot of work for a lot of people. And so the baseline is like, why am I doing cosplay? Is it for my own enjoyment, or am I trying to bring a smile to a kid's face, that might need it right then? And I think for me, cosplay is, I don't do it for myself.
Right.
And so I really enjoy building costumes and doing the art, but when I work so hard on my suit and I see people's eyes light up and they want to get a photo with me.
100%.
It's not I'm not trying to be better than anyone or brag. I just want to be there for the community and
right.
and for Star Wars. Something what George Lucas did is beautiful. Like it's he created something that we can actually escape into, and I want to keep that original vision. I'm a real big original trilogy fan, and I want to keep that original framework, that original vision alive for myself. And so doing a Shroud Con was my idea to get everyone together at least once a year for some big event. I was very fortunate as a kid. I did a lot of traveling. I've done a lot of traveling through the world as an adult. And I wanted to share those experiences that I've had with people in the clan. And it's a big undertaking. Like, there's a lot of people that don't leave their city. There's a lot of people that won't leave their state. So having a group or a club and making a con, our first one was in Texas at my brother's drive-in movie theater. Outside of Austin and Buda, ShroudCon 2022. And people came from all over to this thing. And then we went to Orlando and we did ShroudCon 2, The Return, in Orlando. And before that, we did the after party here. We went to the Pima Air and Space Museum and had a party. And then Germany, Germany, I had the artwork done for Germany almost 3 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And it's and then at ShroudCon 2, we had, 2 of our German members that actually came to Orlando from Germany, and they were just so great, so passionate about our clan. And I was like, these are the people that can lead the charge. And they put a lot of work into, getting the Germany done. But yeah, going back, like I want to have fun at cons, and I don't want to be tied down to a booth. And I want our members to have fun at cons and escape and not be tied down to a booth and feel like they're working a job. It's the same with charity. I've done a lot of charity in my life. I was dragged as a kid to food pantries, and and that was great. My parents taught me a lot, but I didn't really want to be there and do the charity, and I was forced to do it. And then as I grew up, I would do charity because I wanted to do it.
I see.
So when you're a kid, you want to play with your toys and do other things.
Right.
But I got an appreciation for it, and I feel like if you're going to anything that you're going to do, you have to do it with like a joyful heart. And
absolutely,
and so I want people to always think that, hey, when we're doing Shroud stuff, it's an actual escape for them. Now it's work for me, and I don't mind that, but I get to go enjoy these other groups, these other cons and stuff like that, hanging out with people in my own suit without having a booth or a presence there. So,
right. No, absolutely.
yeah. And I think there's like, there's a group for everybody,
right.
and I think I have nothing bad to say about any of the other groups. For me, it just doesn't fit. So I wanted to make something that would fit for me. And I've met so many cool people like yourself and everyone that came out here who kind of shares the same vision, and it's really nice. It's really magical.
Right.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. How did you get involved in Guardians Squadron? Like, what made you think to go like Mando Clan Shroud, and then all of a sudden, like you're in a movie?
Yeah. So, we've been very lucky to be, and I've been very fortunate to be, our page has been found, and we've been involved in like several film. There's a lot of fan films right now that are in editing phase. Sith Wars, and then Civil War. I did a lot of work for that one, and now Guardian Squad. I honestly can't remember exactly how I met Jake, but like that we had dialogue going on Instagram, right. And he sees the work that we're doing and the films that we're involved in, and he reached out to me. Same with the directors from Sith Wars. They again, it's like checking your ego. Like, right. you there is no ego, man. It's we do this for the love of Star Wars and the love of the fans and kids, and we try to, so I don't turn my nose up to any DMs I get. Right. I try to answer every single one as quickly as I can, and these, I'll get DMs from people I don't follow. You go through your junk DMs.
Oh yeah.
And that's where I met a lot of these guys. Like, I wasn't following them, but they wanted to,
right.
They asked me about films and stuff, and so that's kind of how it got started. And then you get on the phone with a guy and you start talking, and he's got your passion,
right?
And you can see through like he's trying to make magic, and I feel like I can help, and that's kind of how it starts out. Yeah.
And then something else that I asked Docking Bay, but then we both decided to wait to see if you wanted to talk about it or not, was the festival stuff that you were thinking about wanting to do. Is that something that you're willing to share today, or do you want to wait?
Yeah, we can announce it. I actually haven't even announced it yet.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so this is...
that's like super special.
This is super special.
Like, holy shit, wow.
Yeah, so this is so we're going to be doing the Shroud Film Festival, and that's going to be in Las Vegas for Shroud Con. It'll be 3. It'll be Shroud Con 4 in Las Vegas. And we'll be doing the Shroud Film Festival. So we'll be, bringing any directors, any cast and crew, interviews, behind the scenes stuff, showcasing their films, showcasing trailers that they have, red carpet. My idea is red carpet. Again, going back to the things that I've been very fortunate to do. Let's rent some tuxedos. Let's feel like superstars for a night. Let's do interviews. Let's get a showcase platform for all this hard work that we've been doing, and have a night where we can have a great dinner. We can get together. We can take some great photos and honor people for all the work that they're putting in, and and then grow that, grow, like start in 2027, early, probably January. And then let's grow the film festival and to start encompassing maybe more than Star Wars, sci-fi, fantasy,
Right.
and my son's at film school up in Ithaca College, and anything, bringing students in, like just trying to grow kind of like a grassroots kind of film industry, with
Right.
fans, and because we have the tools to do it now.
Absolutely.
YouTube, Instagram, all this stuff, like the cameras, the equipment that was out here, the equipment that you brought, like you can get your hands on this stuff, and then you can learn. You can go to school, or you can like watch YouTube videos,
Imagine that, guys.
Yeah, but it's awesome, man. It's such a creative think tank that we're tapping into right now that really hasn't happened before.
Right.
These films, like just looking through the viewfinder, it's beautiful, man.
No, absolutely. And I'm super honored, bro, that you like decided to announce that tonight. That's why we didn't bring it up
man.
in the other interviews, because we just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
But if you put half of the amount or even a quarter of the amount of energy into that you bring to everything else that you do, it's going to be super awesome. And, because like the cosplayers that I met out here that were extras and stuff in the film this weekend, they were super happy to be here. They felt accepted and things like that. And there's a lot of fan film artists and people who make fan films and other things like that it would be cool for them to get recognition for what they do, because we don't do it for the recognition. Because we can't. If you really think about it. So, it's just awesome that you're even willing to like open that doorway into that. You know what I mean? It speaks volumes about who you are as a person, and that just affirms even more why myself and everyone else loves being a member of Shroud. You know what I mean? So, and he's a great actor, man.
Oh, jeez.
Come on now. You pulled that shit off. It was crazy.
It was fun, man. I think the biggest thing that I've learned in my life is humility, and listening, communication. It's super important. It's super important to have an open mind, listen to people, like actually, and not just fake listen.
Right.
There's a lot of
Actually
people
hear
that
them.
say they're listening, and they don't listen. And learning, like I had a really old guy one time tell me when I was younger that once I know everything about something, it's time to get out. And I'm never going to know everything about anything. Even if I'm a master prop maker, or a master painter, or a great husband, or whatever it is, like I always have something to learn and offer, and you always have to keep pushing yourself to be better and better. And that's what I want to bring. I want to lead from humility. I want to just bring people along on a journey that makes me happy, makes my heart and soul full, and seeing the happiness in other people and filling their hearts and souls. That's what it's all about.
No, absolutely, man. And I'll tell you what, I have a feeling that like in a few years, everybody in the world's gonna know who you are.
Oh,
I'm not even joking. I'm not trying to suck up to you. I'm being serious.
Yeah.
I've seen it. Like I've seen it with people. Like when I see certain people, I just know it's because you don't want it.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is, because you don't want it. But it's the work that you're doing. There's a lot of cosplayers out there, and there's a lot of people that's going to see this. So, it's been an absolute pleasure to be welcomed into your home and to be a part of that project, and I'm glad that I did.
Yeah,
For all of you guys, go check out Shroud. They also have a website. I'm going to put that website in the bio of this video so that you guys can check it out for some Shroud gear. Also, check out their Instagram. It's just Mando Clan Shroud, and then also Shroud Industries on Instagram. And start following them and start following the progress of everything, and maybe go to Vegas for that Shroud Con. That'd be nice. So,
Yeah.
anyways, don't forget to like and subscribe, share the video, and stay tuned until next time.
Thanks, bro.